What's going on with everybody? It is your boy Eric, aka Young God, coming to you live in the Pink Dungeon, getting into your real raw rugged, and we're back in here with another review, man. This is J. Cole, The Fall Off. No, I technically am not reviewing this from the perspective of a hater. What do you say? A hater, a competitor, and a fan or whatever it was. I just thought that was funny. That's what the game said on Instagram, and it really made me laugh. And it also made me think in a moment of kind of introspection, hey, game might have kind of just introduced a new idea to the review game. I'm not gonna lie. The next review, I might review a nigga Jack as a competitor, a fan, and a hater. That's I'm not gonna lie, not the worst idea the game is throwing out there. The game is throwing out some wacky ideas. That didn't really stick with me. You know, Meat Print Monday wasn't my thing. That wasn't my hashtag. But hater, fan, and a competitor, hey, I get down with that. You know, so unfortunately, not doing that this review, but I am giving you guys a good old classic review. No pizza box because I told myself there's way too many songs on this album for me to be writing on a pizza box. And then I ended up kind of reviewing the whole thing just on my phone. I wasn't really planning to do all of that, but I did it. So without any further ado, let's get right into this thing, man. J. Cole, The Fall Off. And if anybody's ever heard me speak about J. Cole on here, there's one thing he does on here quite often, and if you listen, you should know, like, oh man, Eric is gonna like this, and I'm not gonna spoil it. I'll get to it when I get to it. But the first track, he starts off with 29 intro. Good old James Taylor sets the mood for, I don't know what this album's gonna sound like at this point, but I'm like, all right. I know he's from Carolina, so I get it, but let's see where this goes. And then we go to 2-6, and I thought this was a solid intro. It was nothing terrible, nothing mind blowing. The whisper at the beginning of the song gets stuck in my head with the 2-6 niggas coming, hey, 2-6 niggas coming, hey, 2-6 niggas coming, like that gets stuck in my head. So I guess salute to him for getting his whisper bag, but this is okay. Like I guess I don't think it's anything crazy. It's nothing that we never heard from before. It's a solid intro, you know. I always say intros are super important because it's the first thing I hear you do on the album. So you really need to grab my attention. Like I said, I don't think he did something insane on here, but I think it's okay enough for me to be like, all right, let me see where else this goes. Safety. I wrote down, this is the most J. Cole beat I've ever heard in my life. And it is. This couldn't have been produced by anybody but J. Cole. And that's not a diss because I wrote after that, with that being said, I want to hear him produce for other people because the high power beat by Kendrick, everybody always bring it up when they talk about J. Cole production. It's literally the only beat anybody brings up as if he doesn't produce for himself all the time. Niggas be like, hey boy, J. Cole could produce. Man, what's one good J. Cole beat? High power. Everybody says the same exact thing. And it's not his song. It's somebody else's song. It's Kendrick's song. And I was always interested why certain rapper producers always just keep the beat for themselves. I get it. They're a rapper too. So it's like, nigga, I want this beat. You know, this beat hard. I don't want nobody else rapping over it. I get that. But J. Cole, I would be interested to see what he would think sounds good for other people. High power was perfect for Kendrick. So, man, I don't know. I know he's allegedly retiring. I wouldn't be mad if J. Cole said, you know what? I don't want to really rap as much as I used to, but I will still give beats to other people. So if that's something that he gets into, I would be interested in that just because I'm not a hater of J. Cole beats at all. They could kind of like, he has a very signature sound in my opinion, but once again, high power sounds like nothing that he ever made. So I would love to hear what his ear feels is best for other rappers, but very J. Cole beat. I thought the song was straight. You know, I know a lot of people love this song. I didn't hate it. I thought it was straight. You know, it was straight. I don't really have a lot of opinions on some of these songs outside of this is okay. This is straight. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It's better than 2-6. I think because you know he's doing like the storytelling thing or whatnot. But I think there's better storytelling songs on here. So I get it. Safety was first time I heard it. It was one of my favorite songs. Funny enough, then when I listened to it like 4 times already, it was like, okay, there's better songs on here. So, and this album is interesting because when I first heard this album, I didn't like it. I didn't like a lot of songs that I now like now. So, this had the opposite effect where I liked this more, and now it's kind of like, okay, this is cool. Run a Train featuring Future is hilarious because Run a Train, when I first heard it, there's no features listed. So when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, this is Future doing, or this is J. Cole doing a really bad Future impersonation. He sounds like Future with an extra chromosome. This sounds ridiculous. I never know what you mean. I'm in the middle of my mate. I'm in the middle of my night. My penis hard enough in the train. It's like, okay, J. Cole, you're in a bag right now. I don't know what bag this is. Come to find out, it's actually Future sounding like Future with an extra chromosome. Kind of blew my mind. Future is a man of many voices. I will give him that. We've heard him do this voice. I don't know what you would call this. We've heard him do the voice on la di da di da, slap a me nop. We've heard him do just like his regular rap voice. We've heard him do the rap voice on Group Home on Super Slimy, where he sounds like he hasn't coughed up coal in his throat for 2 months. That traffic like Pablo Escobar. One of my favorite songs by him, by the way. But yeah, we've heard him do a lot of voices. He's unlocked a new voice. So salute to this Future right here. I thought the second verse had some cool internal rhymes. I didn't really love this song outside of the second verse having like some cool internal rhymes. Okay, that's fun. But I can't say that I will go back and listen to the song ever. That'd be a bold-faced lie if I told you that I'm just gonna put on I'm in the middle of Jamaica. I'm in the illuminate. My penis let's run the train. I'll be lying to you. And I'm gonna listen to that again, but salute to the parties on the song. Poor Thing. I like this beat. I like this beat a lot, actually. Like, it's actually one of my favorite beats on here. It has the Boosie sample. You know, I'm a sucker for anything Boosie related, music wise. You know, you can keep his tweets to himself, but the music, anything pre 2009 Boosie music, I'm here for. Maybe 2010, because I think he released that one album right before he went in with Y'all Better Not Fight in This Bit. I think that's before 2010. So 2010 and back, yeah, I'm all in on Boosie music. So this is a classic Boosie song. Set It Off. If you're not from the South, this song gets played in the South, everybody's going crazy. You know how people talk about when Finito comes on? This is kind of like the OG Southern Finito. When Set It Off comes on in the club, people may party crazy. People may get hit in the face. A nigga might get stumped out. It's one of those songs. So yeah, shout out to him for putting Set It Off. It's funny. I was just talking to a rapper from North Carolina about Boosie, so that's funny. So yeah, shout out to the Boosie sample. I like he's like dissing some random nigga that lived in his city. I think that's funny. I actually love that. Some A-list rapper dissing some random nigga named, I don't know, Lil Pookie Man 35. I don't know what brand name is in his city. I'm not gonna lie, I think that's actually hilarious. That sounds like something that I would conjuncture up in my brain that a rapper would do. But the fact that he did it is he's one of the biggest rappers of all time. So you know what? I'm gonna beef with Lil Pookie Man 35. I think that's hilarious. I thought the bar about like your neighborhood wasn't lit, yours looked like mine with hella tree trunks bit. That's funny. I remember my cousin was roasting me because I was like, nigga, I'm off in the trenches, boy. Nigga live in the trenches when I was younger. Nigga say, man, nigga, you got trimmed trees. That nigga say nowhere with trimmed trees is a scary place. So that kind of reminded me of that. But yeah, no, I actually think this is a funny idea for a song. I actually the hook is pretty catchy. The poor thing, little niggas playing war games and you know what I'm saying? I like I said, I was very highly entertained by this song. One of the first songs on the song, or one of the first songs on the album now where I'm like, okay, I actually like this. Legacy. Yes, and now we're going backwards because this is not something that I would praise at all. This is where he goes back to where I say that J. Cole can be a lazy writer. Nigga said, yeah, I'm aware that I rhymed the word back with back. That's just the direction that I'm looking at. That's not good. That's not a good part. I'm aware that I'm not even against niggas rhyming the same word back to back because he did it on the last song. He rhymed pump bitch, pump bitch, pump bitch, pump bitch. He said that for like 13 lines, and I was fine with that. Rhyming back with back and then acknowledging it. You could have just let it go. You could have just rhymed back with back and niggas be like, okay, cool. The fact that you brought attention to it and tried to make it a bar, that's what actually made it very terrible. Like, don't try to make something not hard. You know what I'm saying? I know this ain't seem hard, But that's like explaining the joke. You know what I'm saying? Like a nigga, it's like, hey, bro, I know you ain't laugh at that joke. Let me tell you why it's funny. 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna make it funny. So he explained his own joke, and it didn't go over well. That's lazy, lazy, lazy writing, J. Cole, and that's always been my biggest critique about J. Cole is that he's a lazy writer sometimes, and that's why I was very scared about this album because I'm like, there's a 40 million songs on this one album. J. Cole, he's gonna get tempted. He's like a dog. It's like dangling a dog treat by a dog. Them niggas gonna get horny, bruh. He seen 30 songs that he had to do, and he was like, bruh, I'm be a lazy writer sometimes. He was a little too horny for it, bruh. You know what I'm saying, bruh? It was like the Pavlov experiment. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ring that bell. He got a track number 810. They say, lazy writing. It was gonna happen. So unfortunately, Legacy was just boring, you know? And yeah, that bar just kind of killed the entire song for me. But even outside that bar, the song is just kind of boring. Bunch Roll Blues featuring Future and Tim's. Future's just a hilarious guy, man. He just having fun. What do you say? 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my top cruising the streets. I don't know you. That nigga was jamming on this song, bro. The song didn't really pick up to me till Future came in. J. Cole once again was just kind of like, he's here. He's not really doing anything interesting. He's just kind of here. He's like that on some of these songs. He's just kind of here, you know. It's either he's here, he's Logic, or he's Fire. It's like either the three categories on this album. He's here and just kind of sitting on the couch, or he's Logic, and it's like, why are you talking about being the hardest white black nigga on a mic? I don't know what's going on here. Or, this is really good. Here, he was just kind of here, in my opinion. Future kind of like, okay, this is fun. But Tim's is the savior of the song. She's the real MVP, bro. She is absolutely jamming with the, what she say? I'm handcuffed. I'm broken. I'm handcuffed. Hey, I'm broken. I'm handcuffed. Bro, she was jamming on here. This is her song. This really shouldn't have been J. Cole's song. This is her song. Tim's is that girl. I need to listen to Tim's more. Every time I hear Tim's feature, I'm like, bro, why don't I listen to her? She is great. Everything I've ever heard from her was top tier. So there's no exception here. She's great on here. Literally the MVP of the song. Without her, I probably would not like this song. But yeah, shout out to Tim. She saved the song by far. But then we go to Who the F Is You? I actually like this first verse. I think the song falls off after the first verse, but the first verse is fire. We know exactly what it means when niggas show 922s, 45s. We study numerology. What? I said, I like that. Hey, I like that, man. We studying numerology. What I'm quoting is God scoping. Come check the pottery. He was talking. He was talking on this first verse. Absolutely. This is where I'm like, yo, this is the J. Cole I want. This is the J. Cole that I was hoping would be on this album. And then the second verse, he does like this weird Eminem flow where he's stretching out the last word of the line. I'm at the time. I just didn't like it. It's kind of like a Nicki Eminem type of thing that he had going on. I wasn't really a fan of that. The second half, I like the beat. That sounded like something that I would kind of freestyle over. So that's why I do like a Pimp Daddy Eric video where I'm rapping in the sugar-free voice. That's what that reminded me of. I'm like, I like this beat. But the actual everything, like the song put together on the second half, yeah, it was okay. You know, it's a lot. And that's the problem. When you have 45 songs on an album, a lot of this stuff is not going to hit. That first verse, though, fire. Drum and bass. This is good rapping. I feel like he entered a state where he was just in a zone. You know, the stuff I write so hot, I got my hand afraid of the pen. I like that. You could just tell when the nigga's in the zone. And I feel like he was just rapping good on here. This is a song where it felt like, okay, let me just like. Sometimes, like when a nigga's writing, I feel like you may like get stuck on a word or stuck on a line. It felt like he just wrote all the way through, no stops. It felt like he did not stop to think. It was just flowing from his brain to his hand. That's what it felt like. And yeah, I actually thought this was really good rapping on drum and bass. The let out, excuse me. Man, the hook on this song. Now this goes back to what Eric would like. If anybody's ever heard me talk about J. Cole, I love J. Cole singing, bro. J. Cole singing is a top five artist of all time to me, bro. This hook on the Let Out, this is amazing. Do I love the verses? I don't, because I don't really like the way he's singing or he's rapping on the verse. I don't like his flow really. It sounds like he's like parts of it sounds like this should be like on Sinners. Like I feel like Preacher Boy should have been like playing the guitar and it was just I don't know, just kind of weird mashup. But when that hook comes on, oh, will we survive the let out? Will we survive the let out? Will we survive the let out? Will we survive the? Ooh, will we survive the? But that is crazy, bro. I absolutely love that. Then he did the little bone thugs with it. Bro, this is that one. This is the song right here, bro. This is probably one of my favorite moments on this entire album is the Let Out hook. That hook is so good. And like I said, even like the bridge I like because he's doing the 3/6 thing. But oh my gosh, bro. I absolutely love the Let Out. It's one of my favorite J. Cole moments probably ever. Just because he sounds the way that I wanted him to sound. I've always said, man, I want J. Cole to put out a blues album. This would be on the blues album. Niggas talking about are they gonna survive the let out of the club? Once again, a lot of cool concepts on this album. I'll give it to him. This is one of them. I thought this was a cool concept. Like, will niggas survive? You know, hey, will you survive a night out at the club? Because I was talking to a nigga from New York, Alphonse, and I said, bro, in Jacksonville, I feel like Jacksonville kind of back in the day dangerous. You can't really go to a lot of black clubs down here, bro, because you might get shot and you're not the intended target. And that's how it is. And he was like, oh, New York, that's not a thing. I never think about getting shot at the club. And I was like, well, I guess that's New York. I was like, I guess we just different. But it sound like niggas in North Carolina all kind of got to worry about getting shot at the club. So there is that. But bro, I absolutely love this song. It's one of my favorite things J. Cole's done in a minute. And honestly, it might get topped in a few seconds of the next song that I'm finna talk about. And it's the first part. I mean, it's the second part. Bombs in the Ville was cool. Kind of boring, not gonna lie. That's kind of how I came about that first part. He's singing on there too, but it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. The second half, it's one of the most interesting things J. Cole has done, I feel like, in his career. It's like he went full R&B pop featuring like a Timbaland beat. The beat is fire. What he's doing is one of the most different things I've ever heard him do. The way he's singing, like I'm finna play it in the background. This. Hey, that nigga was jamming with that. Hey, bum, ba, da, 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 da. Bro, that is that funk. That is that pressure. That is whatever you want to call it. I thought this was one of the more interesting things J. Cole's ever done. I thought the Let Out is probably one of my favorite things he's ever done just because I love that hook, bro. Oh, will we survive the Let Out? Will we survive And like I said, the concept I think is cool. I like it. Hit the gas. I've never heard him over something like this and use his voice like this. This is the creativity that I want to hear from a nigga that's rapping for, what, 20 years or however long he's been in the game. I definitely over he ain't been in the game for 20 years, but you know what I'm saying. 15, however long. This is the creativity I want to hear and the different stuff that I know that he can do. I don't know how niggas feel about Hit the Gas. I think Hit the Gas is crazy. I think Hit the Gas is nuts because it's so different from anything I've ever heard from him. And I love J. Cole singing, bro. He raps at the end. I don't really care about that verse. I like what he did with his singing. J. Cole, you were a bad boy when you get in that singing bag. Lonely at the top. It was a song. It was kind of boring again. But you know, I got really hyped about that fall off is inevitable. I talked about that on here. That excited me. That excited me about this album because I'm like, this is some of the best rapping I've heard him do in a very long time. This is not lazy at all. He is rapping. And then the Village was cool. Love to hear Erykah Badu. They flipped the freaking me and you. your sister and your mama too. What about say? Riding on Cadillac dogs. Hey, zip it on it. And if I, you know what I'm saying? Niggas love that. So it was a lot of things that they flipped on here because Future did the Usher. So yeah, I love Erykah Badu. You know that's my girl. So anything her I'm tapped in with. PD Pablo, him, you know, niggas, North Carolina niggas, probably a great thing for him to do. Just, you know, whatever, life sentence. I don't want to hear him flip DMX is kind of not for me. Only You, not for me. Man Up Above was better. I Love Her Again, another concept song I always bring up. Every time I bring up Common, which I bring him up a lot for whatever reason on this channel, I always bring up I used to hit her in the park. I used to love her. I always do that. So the fact that he flipped that song, I used to love her, and now I love her again. Basically talking about his relationship with hip hop and how he fell out of love with hip hop, and he was chasing her. She ran to Atlanta. I thought this was a cool concept. What if feature Moray? Another cool concept that I thought was kind of funny in a sense where I'm like, what if Biggie and them like, nigga, I wouldn't have been cool with that bitch ass nigga? Because the whole thing like, man, I was tripping. Tupac like, man, I was tripping, Biggie. What if the niggas like was a lot of here this song? They like, nigga, nah. Tupac, I wouldn't be cool with that fat ass nigga. Big cross out of that nigga. I want to be cool with him, which could have been a very honest perspective. But I thought this was cool. All jokes aside, just basically, what if Tupac and Biggie never beefed? Or what if they patched up their beef? Not never beef. What if they patched up their beef? Very wholesome song. And yeah, the rest of the songs of the album were cool. So there's some highlights, some very, very big standouts. There's some cool concepts. But this album is just too long. I think that's the crux of this. But it's not a bad album at all. I wouldn't say it's a bad album. It's just a long album. And it's some really good stuff on here, and it's some stuff that's boring, and it's some stuff where he's being logic, talking about being the hardest mulatto out or something. So it's like, all right, shout out to you, I guess, for that one. Biracial pride. But yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Tell me what you think about this. And until next time, I say what I mean what I say. Haters gonna hate. Players gonna play. Y'all holla at your boy, no man.